My name is Lester Cuffey. I'm the executive director of the DC Coalition for Housing Justice, and I, I, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming out. Salutations, greetings. I can't say enough. The Creator has given us a wonderful day. I want to thank the mayor, the council people, council personnel, all the folks for coming out today to celebrate the groundbreaking of the Gateway residence. It's, to me, as co-founder and developer of this project, of this development, this has been a love, it's been like a baby. And, you know, I guess everyone can relate to that. You carry a baby, you caress it, you try to hold on to it, and you give it all the love. And the DC Coalition for Housing Justice, along with our partners, Vanti Real Estate, Inc., OWA, the engineering construction firm, SA&A, Stewart Alexander and Associates, all of our partners, they're here today. You, the community, is here. You're here today to celebrate the residents of Gateway. A little information about the coalition, about who we are. DC Coalition for Housing Justice, Inc., co-founder Lester Cuffey, Darlene Dancy as the co-founders. We were incorporated 2002 as a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and our motto is to perpetuate and preserve and seek to encourage and inspire social justice by addressing housing as a human rights issue. Our mission is to assist citizens and residents in identifying and securing affordable housing opportunities in the midst of major development activity. Through education, we do this through education, information, dissemination, public forums, and advocacy, and development. So let me also note, say thank you, special thank you to Darlene Aisha Dancy. Darlene is our co-founder, artist, and community activist. Darlene, will you stand right? You come here, right here. Okay. Okay. There's just a few acknowledgments I want to make because this has been a love of care, and I certainly don't want to be remiss in not acknowledging Darlene Dancy is the co-founder, long struggle. She's the co-founder of the DC Coalition for Housing Justice. She's been there, I guess, late night telephone conversations, late night debates and arguments and meetings and so forth, and she's been, and rallies, and she's been right there, long-time resident, of Ward 1, community activist, artist. She's just been a wonderful friend and a co-founder. Would you like to make a few comments, Darlene?
I thank everyone for being here today. We really appreciate your support. And I like to say that this is like a monumental moment for me, because as a grassroots community activist and artist, I have to admit that at one time I was a homeless person living in a house of roof. And it was there when Robin Williams and Whoopi Goldberg and I'm really nervous, and Billy Crystal came through, and I was able to escort Whoopi at that time, and making the observation of how people had to live in a homeless shelter and had to live without the basic means. It really saddened me, and I made a commitment in 1986 that I was going to dedicate my life and my time and my energy to seeing how we could stop homelessness and give human beings the things that they needed to be whole and to be at their best. So this is really a wonderful moment for us, but we started with, we had 34 units. I'd like to say we want to commit ourselves to another 1,000 or so units and encourage everybody else out there to come up with another 1,000 or so units so that we can put our people into homes. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Darlene. Thank you. I want to also acknowledge Avanti Real Estate. That's Real Estate Services. That's our partner, Nick and Sheila Reed. like to make a few comments.
Nick, thank you so much for everyone who came today. Be on the backdrop of this wonderful construction project. It has taken sometime 5 years for us to get here. Nonetheless, when we started out, the objective was to be able to bring affordable housing, more affordable housing to the district. And we had such great support from our Councilmember McDuffie here at Ward 5. The mayor has been just be with us the entire time. Whenever we needed anything, when she was chairman of the Finance Committee, still becoming mayor, whenever we saw her, it was always, what do you need, what's going on? Always on point. And we really appreciate that. Because they say it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to bring about a project like this. Believe me, it took a lot of people and a lot of work. And we really appreciate everyone who participated. Family, friends, neighborhood, community, everybody. Thank you so much.
Just thank you very much for coming and sharing this moment with us. And without any further ado.
Well, thank you. Beautiful. Once again, I just want to thank the services of Avanti Real Estate Services, located in the heart of Columbia Heights neighborhood, 14th Street. They're our partners in this endeavor, in this development. I just saw another one of our partners walk in, Alfred Ajur from OWA Engineering Services. Alfred is one of our partners in this development and in this endeavor and in this enterprise. And I just want to acknowledge and thank him and ask him if he would like to make a few comments and so forth. Alfred?
Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I was picking up the shovels for the event today. Well, I just want to thank everybody for being here today to help us do this groundbreaking. As the speakers before me pointed out, it took a lot of efforts to get this project to this stage. And we just can't thank enough everyone who has been involved, all the way from the mayor herself. I remember the very first time we thought about this deal. We went to the Wilson building, and the mayor was a council member at that time, and she was one of those who fervently supported this project. And of course, the council member, Kenya McDuffie, all along has been such a backbone of this project to make sure that we get it to this stage. And as we proceed forward, we're going to count on everybody's support so that we can fulfill our dreams of being able to contribute as much as we can to help the city in increasing the affordable housing stock in Washington, D.C. Thank you.
All right, thank you. There's so many acknowledgments. We want to acknowledge the Gateway Civic Association, the ANC Commissioner Jackie Manning. We want to acknowledge her and thank her for the support. We also want to acknowledge and thank Delano Lewis for his support, for his backing and involvement in making this effort. As one speaker pointed out, it takes a community to make a village. Now, there are other partners that are out here, and I'll note them as the program goes along. But at this point, let me just, before I bring up the next speaker, the Mayor Muriel Bowser, let me just point out a few things. She's a fifth-generation Washingtonian. As we all know, former commissioner of Ward 4, SMD 4B09. I know something about a commissioner because I used to be an ANC commissioner. And as one speaker pointed out earlier, we were in, at that time, we met the Mayor Bowser. She was the co-chair in her office, and she chaired the Finance Committee. At that time, you know, we went into her office, and we showed her the drawings and so forth and so on, and she said, yeah, I got it. I like that. Let's do that. She was very supportive. You know, she said, let's look at the facts. Let's look at the numbers, though. I said, fine. But she listened to us, and you know, it was just marvelous to get her support. A couple other facts that I think we don't know. You know, Mayor Bowser was elected, of course, 2015. She became the 8th elected mayor of Washington, D.C., the second woman to be elected to office. And in keeping with the spirit and theme of her campaign, Pathway to the Middle Class, Mayor Bowser wholeheartedly supported this affordable housing development, and she currently directs $100 million in that endeavor to create affordable housing. It gives me great pleasure to introduce your mayor, my mayor, our mayor, the Honorable Muriel Bowser.
Wait a second.
Okay.
Invocation, please.
Yeah. All right.
So, Reverend McNeil, please
Yeah.
come forward, give us an invocation.
Okay.
And I'd like to also acknowledge Reverend McNeil has been extremely helpful to us with his church, and he's also a major developer who is going to be transforming this corridor right here on Bladensburg Road. So remember him, Reverend McNeil.
Let us just bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Most gracious Father, we thank you for your splendor, generosity, and your grace. As we come now on this day, Father, we thank you that we have been reminded of our mission to take care of the disenfranchised, the forgotten, the outcast, those who are homeless. You've commanded us to feed those who are in need, to clothe those who are naked. But now, Father, we stand with a great vision to be able to allow folk to come off the street in the cold, to be able to have a place where they can call home. We thank you for this vision. We thank you for our leadership of this city. We thank you for the leadership of this ward, and we thank you for all our ANC commissioners. And as we come now, Father, as this project moves forth, we pray now that you will hold back the rain, let the weather be great, that no one will get hurt, that we will be able to stand and see your glory on that day when this project is finished. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right. And I just want to thank the Reverend for his support. He was very supportive of our project. And without further ado, once again, your mayor, my mayor, our mayor, the Honorable Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. It's a great day in Ward 5, isn't it? It's a great day in Ward 5, isn't it? I'm delighted to be here with you at Unity Baptist. Pastor, thank you for your hospitality and your leadership, of course, across the city and on this corridor in Ward 5. We greatly appreciate it. And it's apropos that we're on the grounds of a house of faith because we have called on all our faith leaders across the District of Columbia to join hands with us in building affordable housing. And so we just want to, again, thank you for your leadership and always look for the additional opportunities that we have. It's good to be with you, Council Member, and I want to thank you for your focus on affordable housing and making sure we're looking for every opportunity to make sure that as Washington, D.C. grows and prospers, we're making room for all kinds of Washingtonians in all parts of the city. And I really appreciate that. So to Nick and Sheila, I want to thank you for your leadership. I've heard about this project a lot. Your entire partnership and development team deserves a lot of credit, but it was easy for me to be supportive of this project because I know that I know Avante Real Estate real well, and I know where their heart is, I know where their expertise is, and I knew that they would be working with a fantastic development team. So let's give the whole development team a big round of applause. You heard it right, and I think that I know this is a long agenda, so I won't speak long. And actually, Polly, I'm going to speak for you too. So you know, Polly Donaldson is the director of the Department of Housing and Community Development, and I've charged Polly with making sure that we are investing $100 million each and every year in affordable housing. Now, it's one thing to say you're going to do it. But actually to get the money out the door is remarkable. And we feel very proud that we have not only pledged, but gotten more money out the door for affordable housing than has been done in our history. So we're very proud of that $100 million commitment. I'm looking forward to working with the council again this year in the upcoming budget to make sure we can meet that pledge again. So between just a couple of facts, between 2014 and 2015, our city added more than 3,400 affordable housing units. And in the pipeline to be delivered are 5,300 affordable housing units. And we don't get to 5,300 units overnight. That's why units and buildings like this are so important to our overall goal. So a 33-unit building, it wasn't too long ago, we were breaking ground on another building here in Ward 5 with a similar makeup of units. 15% in this development, for example, will be set aside for some of our most vulnerable residents, which is so important. So this Gateway project is another recent example of how affordable housing in Ward 5 supports all Washingtonians. So I want to thank you for that. And I also want to highlight that we will, as we continue to develop our city, be looking for great partners like we have here in developing public and private partnerships. So we'll say to the private sector, this is our need, and we're going to ask the private sector for ideas and solutions to get there. Sometimes it will involve using government land. Other times it will involve other government agencies that want to invest in affordable housing projects like we've seen here. And that is what we're going to continue to do with your support. So I want to thank all the government officials who've been involved in making this happen. I already talked to you about Polly Donaldson and DHCD, but also the DC Housing Finance Agency. I believe Todd Lee is here. There's Todd Lee. The Housing Finance Agency really makes a lot of affordable housing projects work because the financing and putting it together, I know the development team will talk to you about that. It takes a lot of creativity and know-how, and the Housing Finance Agency is a critical link with DHCD and the private sector in making those things happen. Another critical partner for us, of course, is the Council of the District of Columbia. I was pleased to hear references to my time chairing the Committee on Economic Development, where I then also had a focus on affordable housing, and we continue to have that focus. One thing that my Deputy Mayor for Economic Development, Brian Kenner, says is that he puts his work into 3 buckets. How do we create jobs for DC residents? How do we create more revenue for the district's bottom line? And how do we create more affordable housing units? So for us, economic development is affordable housing, and affordable housing is economic development. So when you walk into Brian's office, there's a tracker, electronic tracker on his wall that says how we are doing with that goal, and we're very serious about it. But we can only do it if the council steps up with us and says, okay, it sounds kind of crazy. I don't think that you all can get that much money out, but I'm going to step out there with you the first year. That's what they told me. And we've been able to demonstrate to them that we can get the money out the door. And Councilmember McDuffie has been at the forefront of that charge. When we were on the council together, in fact, we worked on a bill that would require the use of any government project that had our land or our subsidies involved would have to have at least 30% affordable housing. And what we sometimes do is we push them even harder than that to get even more affordable housing for our residents. So as much as we're doing, there's a lot more that we're going to have to do in the years to come. So with that, let me may I introduce another partner in getting affordable housing built across the District of Columbia, Councilmember McDuffie.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Let's give our mayor another round of applause, please. There are a lot of thanks that need to go around, and I'm going to try to make sure that I thank some of those folks right now. And if I don't get to everybody while I make these remarks, I will try to thank you all individually because we know how much hard work went into this project. But today is indeed a great day to be in Ward 5. Is that right? Yes. There we go. I thought you had them going, Madam Mayor. Today is a great day to be in Ward 5. Isn't that right? Yes. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Look, the development team, everybody involved with it have worked really hard. This is one of the very first projects that I supported when I became a council member back in 2012. And why did I do that? Because like the mayor said, I have a deep passion and love for and desire to see more quality, affordable housing in the District of Columbia. Yeah. I am, again, like the mayor and like a lot of the folks who are here, a long-term DC government resident. I said DC resident. I've been here my entire life. I've been here for 4 generations, and I know how important it is to make sure that people who have been here a very long time can afford to stay here as we see all the progress throughout the District of Columbia. The reality is that we are seeing lots of progress all across the District of Columbia. And with that progress, we see the cost of housing go up. What we aren't seeing rise as quickly are incomes and people's incomes to be able to pay for housing where they live. And so it's great to be able to stand here with the backdrop of this wonderful project that's going to be 100% affordable. Can I repeat? 100% affordable. Reverend McNeil, allowing us to do this. We really appreciate what you do right here at Unity Baptist Church. They've been a community partner for a very long time, and there's been nobody who's been a larger advocate for affordable housing and making sure that we drive things based on the community than Reverend McNeil. Let's give him another round of applause as well. Again, Mary Bowser, we worked when she was a council member chairing the Economic Development Committee. I've had the pleasure of working with Polly Donaldson as well as with Mr. Lee at the DC Housing Finance Agency. There are a lot of folks who've worked really hard to make this come to fruition. We also have great community leaders as well. And one of those community leaders who's been working tirelessly on this project is Commissioner Jackie Manning, who was here. I don't see her here, but let's give Jackie Manning a round of applause as well for all her hard work. And although he works for the mayor now, he's been working on this project for a really long time. Another person who's been in the city his entire life and has dedicated himself to making the community better, and that's Delano Hunter, who's president of Gateway Civic Association, who's also been a partner in making this happen. SANA Development, DC Coalition for Housing Justice, Sheila and Nick Reed, Adavante, and also all the other folks who are part of the development team and the folks who are doing construction, GCS as well. Let's give them all a round of applause for all the work that they've put in to this project. Now look, this project right now is exciting, but it's not always been exciting. It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge to make sure that you get the financing together. It's been a challenge to make sure that everything's going well. But it's been a pleasure to work with all the people that I've mentioned, but it's been no greater pleasure to me as a council member than to be able to work with all the phenomenal people in the Gateway community. These folks know what it's like to have a quality project in their community. They also know what it's like to make sure that the project is driven by the community, working in partnership with government and the private sector. So let's give all the residents of Gateway a round of applause for their hard work and their tirelessness to make sure that they bring quality, affordable housing to their community. I'm going to continue to work on these types of projects. This is what it's all about, to be here in the District of Columbia, to see the progress being made, to work with the mayor, to work with ANC commissioners, and importantly, to work with the community to drive affordable housing throughout the District of Columbia. We've had great successes like the bill that Mayor Bowser mentioned that we passed, I think back in 2014, to set aside affordable housing with any district government project of multifamily housing of 10 units or more. But also, I've worked really hard to pass 3 other bills specifically related to affordable housing. There's a Truth in Affordable Housing bill that we've been able to pass. We passed a local low-income housing tax credit bill as well. I also had the pleasure of working with my colleagues on the council and the mayor to put into the budget a bill that I introduced to set aside any surplus funds after we pay for all the things that we need to pay for in the district government, any surplus funds into the Housing Reduction Trust Fund of 25% or more. And so we've had some successes, but we've got a lot more to do, and I think there's a lot more energy in the District of Columbia government to be able to get it done. One more round of applause for everybody who's put in a lot of work to get this done. Thank you all. Really appreciate it. Look forward to putting the shovel in the ground. Thank you.
All right, let's give another round of applause to Councilmember McDuffie and the Mayor, Mayor Bowser. Thank you. Good. My next speaker knows something about community development, and she knows something about affordability. The mayor alluded to Polly a few minutes ago. With that in mind, let me bring up Polly Donaldson. She's currently the director of the Department of Housing and Community Development, DHCD. Polly Donaldson has served as the director of DHCD since January 2015. As director, she oversees 180 employees, 14 program areas, and manages and operates a budget of over $250 million to preserve for the purposes of preserving and producing rental and home ownership opportunities for the district residents. Without further ado, Director Polly Donaldson.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I'll be very brief since the mayor actually really focused on her vision and the resources needed to achieve that vision here, and how this is a prime example of what the $100 million goes towards. I just want to say simply that there's an element to this development that is near and dear to my heart. It reflects the faith-based background that I came from in terms of housing development. It's the idea that there will be support services along with the providing of an apartment and residence, and that is something for the families and individuals living there that will be key and critical to their being able to be thriving members of this neighborhood. And I think that's something very special about the project. That's one of the reasons that the investment that the Department of Behavioral Health is doing, in addition to DHCD, HFA, and others, is really very critical. Our agencies working together to pool resources to make exactly these kinds of developments. So I want to say congratulations to the development team and to all of you, and let's do more. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Donaldson. Thank you. The mayor pointed out that, as well as Councilman McDuffie, it does take a village to put together a development, a project of this sort. And I can just allude to the kind of support that we got from the City Council and received wholeheartedly in an effort to create affordable housing. We all know about the developments that are taking place in our community, and so it takes that kind of support, just like it takes a child. As they say, it takes a village to bring up a child. The same thing applies to directing and developing affordable housing. The next speaker is currently the director of District Columbia Finance Agency, Mr. Todd A. Lee. Todd A. Lee was appointed to that position April the 8th, 2016, just recent. Mr. Lee was appointed to the position of Acting Executive Director of DCHFA, District of Columbia Housing Finance Agency. He joins the agency with more than 20 years of extensive service in the field of multifamily, commercial real estate financing, including a diverse background in multi-equity in the community investments and lending across a range of property types. As the Vice President of Multifamily Equity in the Community Investment Unity of the Multifamily Division of Fannie Mae, that's a lot, Mr. Lee built a national investment portfolio that grew to 44,000 housing units. Some of those units included here in Washington, D.C. And he also managed a gross asset of a company valued at $4.5 billion. So without further ado, let's bring up Todd Lee, okay, currently the director of the Department of Housing Finance Agency. Okay. Oh, well, thank you. That's a lot. Okay.
I always forget to do this. Okay. Good morning. DCHFA underwrote $5.3 million in tax-exempt bonds and also $2.3 million worth of low-income housing tax credit equity in order to finance the project that you see being erected behind us. We're really fortunate at DCHFA because we get to come to work every day and do two things that we're very passionate about. Number one, producing affordable housing, but number two, the folks at DCHFA love to do transactions. They're deal junkies. They like deals. And projects like Langdon and other projects of this sort is really the intersection of those two passions. And so, again, we feel very fortunate that we get to come to work every day and do what we do. I actually need to thank a number of people for allowing us to come to work and do what we do every day. First and foremost, our mayor, Muriel Bowser, who has created a vision of inclusive and equitable housing and economic development across this entire city. I also need to thank Councilman McDuffie as well, who actually is very vigilant and has brought that vision and is making that happen right here in Ward 5. I also need to thank DHCD, and I've said this before, Polly, your stewardship over the Housing Production Trust Fund is critically important, because without it, these types of our financing and these types of deals simply don't work. They don't, and so much thanks. Also, in an attempt to be brief, I want to also thank the development team for allowing DCHFA to provide financing for your deals, and I also want to thank our private sector financing partners for actually bringing the liquidity and making our financing come to life. And that is Redstone Capital and Stratford Capital, who bought the bonds and also sold it and bought the tax credits. I can't think of a better way to celebrate a beautiful morning like this, but to spend it with this team who made this project come to fruition. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Todd. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause to Mr. Lee again, currently director. Okay. And, you know, just borrowing from the theme of, again, you know, some of these big words like equity, finance, you know, but these are the kinds of, you know, mergers that take place between private and community, and to create the kind of development that sits in the back of me right now. It takes those kind of mergers to bring these kind of wonderful projects and development and so forth together. Another, you know, again, the community as a whole, you know, a shout out to Delano Hunter, current president of Gateway, Delano, as well as Jackie Manning, the current chairperson of ANC 5, okay, ANC person, the commissioner. Would you like to make a few comments, Ms. Manning?
So good morning, everyone. It's more than a great day in Ward 5, especially in ANC 5C. I see Delano Hunter, who is the president of the Civic Association, and I know he's going to come up and speak, but I always like to travel with my community. And so Ms. Barkley and Ms. Kaiser, they're here with me, and we could not have done this project without the community. And this project was not something that we wanted to rush in with the community, although some may feel that we argued with them. We weren't. We just had heated discussions because we all matter in Ward 5, especially in ANC 5C in the Gateway community. And we like for people to understand that we're bridging a gap between communities. I see y'all shaking your head, unbelievable. But the point is, when you're building together as a community to make the city greater. It's done for the greater good of Washington, D.C. We cannot become we are Washington until we become we are community. I'd like to thank my Councilmember McDuffie, former Chief of Staff Jeanette Mobley, who was instrumental with the community to help this happen, Ms. Demetrius Chapman, who was always there with us to talk about what was actually happening. I'd like to thank our illustrious Mayor Bowser, who also listened to us. Sometimes we agree, we disagree, but we kept it moving. And that's why we're here today. We cannot do this by ourselves. You cannot do it just with the council. You have to do it with the people who are already living in the community. So we'll continue to build forward and keep Ward 5 moving. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jackie.
Oh, thank you, Commissioner Jackie Manning. Thank you very much. Again, I want to shout out to the community as a whole. And of course, I want to thank the mayor, Councilmember McDuffie, Mayor Muriel Bowser. There's several acknowledgments. So many elements, so many folks made this project a reality after 5 years of sweat and labor. A shout out to legal counsel Lauren Buckner. Lauren, okay. I mean, Klein and Horning, their legal services and so forth. You know, it takes all these elements to put something like this together. This is just, in my mind, this is just the beginning. Hopefully we'll do something like this again. Hopefully we'll have the same kind of greeting, the same kind of support from the mayor. And the mayor is correct when she says the pathway to middle class, and one of the pathways is home ownership. That's the first thing, home ownership. And to get there, you have to be renters. And to bridge all the gaps that the mayor and that the council member McDuffie spoke of, we have to become one. And we have to be concerned with the community, and we have to address the community needs. And right now, the community needs is affordable housing. And I want to thank all of my partners, okay? And most important, I want to thank God, Reverend, for making this day possible. And of course, my family, my father, they're up there, and a few others. This has been a labor of love. And once again, thank you very much for coming out. Okay, Delano would like to make a few comments. Thank you, Delano. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll be brief. I didn't want to belabor the point because everyone has said what needs to be said. Just to drive home and bring home a personal element, you know, I remember when this was the former Hayes Motel. And as the Hayes Motel was winding down, it became not a by-the-night motel, but a by-the-hour motel. And in its aftermath, I can remember, you know, as a kid, 9, 10 years old, riding my bike, seeing needles, drug paraphernalia, all sort of nefarious signs of nefarious activities. So for us to see this come into fruition, it wasn't easy to get here, but to see this come into fruition really is a credit to the vision of the mayor, the leadership of the council, district government officials, and we're just so grateful to see something that was once blighted, that was a drain on the community, now to be something that's positive. So that really means a lot to us as a community. Thank you. And then furthermore, the hope that this is generating. There are folks that I call alumni of Gateway that moved out for whatever reasons, their families sold, they've moved on. They see this as an opportunity to move back in this community. They may not be at the point where they're ready to purchase a home, but they see this as a way to connect back to their roots. So that sort of hope is the hope that what these projects represent. It's not just a building, it's not just a facility, it's providing hope. So for that, you know, I'm very grateful to have been a part of this process for the past 3, 4, 5 years, and certainly glad that it's coming to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hunter. And last but not, and certainly not least, I want to thank SANA, our principal partners in this development, Ernest and David Alexander. Sasha is here to represent them. Thank you, SANA. Thank you. You made this part. They're our principal partners in this development. And once again, thank you for coming out, and salutations and greetings, and enjoy a wonderful day. Thank you.
1, 2, 3. Ward 5 is great.